bass family, David Shevin, pointed out to me some time ago that in my transcription of Ray Brown's solo from Sometimes I'm Happy from an Oscar Peterson live recording, on the third chorus, he is actually quoting a famous Slam Stewart album and Slam Stewart solo and recording, and it was a blast to investigate this. So let's take a closer look now at Slam Stewart's great solo on Sometimes I'm Happy. Welcome to Learn Jazz Bass with Matt Rybicki. I'm glad that you're here. I've been playing bass for 35 years with folks like Wynton Marsalis, Ulysses Owens, Christian Sands, Dan Nimmer, Wycliffe Gordon, Etienne Charles, and so on. And I was in the first graduating class of the Juilliard Jazz program. And I teach at Juilliard now too, as well as teaching at the University of North Carolina School for the Arts. I'm glad that you're here. As I mentioned, David talked about this solo that I didn't know its connection to this famous Slam Stewart solo. On a Lester Young recording that was done in 1943, one of Lester's first solo albums outside of the Count Basie Band, Slam Stewart is playing with Lester Young, and it was such a popular record that it influenced many, many things to come. As you can hear in my examples at the very beginning, Ray pretty much exactly quotes Slam Stewart's great solo, played arco, but puts his own little sort of Ray isms on it, which makes it equally great. To get a little bit deeper into this, a little bit of a mystery that David brought to my attention, I reached out to the great John Goldsby, who, as you know, is a great educator and a fantastic bass player. And he told me some interesting things as well. I want to point out, too, that John has a course on Discover Double Bass that I'll link to below. That part of the course covers this solo as well, if you want to go even deeper into talking about this great thing. So there's this famous album from Slam and Lester Young, and it influences many things to come, as I said, including there's a King Pleasure album where the Dave Lambert singers are playing along, and you can hear that they quote Sam's solo perfectly. Check this out. Now, the great singer Joe Williams also hints at both Slam and Lester Young's solos in a live version from 1987, as well as he had been part of another album that was sort of dedicated to Lester Young. But on this particular track of Sometimes I'm Happy, he's not singing, but listen to how they copy exactly what happens in the Lester Young recording.
Sing for your supper and you get breakfast. Songbirds always happy. Am I in my Redeemer? I remember Elder Mishaw.
And in 1997, the WDR Big Band, where John Goldsby was the bass player for many, many years, they actually hosted the Super Bass group with Ray Brown and Chris McBride and John Clayton, and they did an arrangement of Sometimes I'm Happy where all three of them played Slam's solo as well. So back to this Oscar Peterson version, notice the way that Lester Young ends this famous recording from 1943 and the way that Oscar Peterson starts his recording in the Live from Chicago album.
about the future. If you should ever leave me, darling, I'd be so blue. I'm only happy, dear, when I'm with you.
Pretty cool, huh? This is a very popular recording. It's so singable and so memorable. And, you know, during this period of time, 1943, this music is extraordinarily popular. It is essentially pop music. And so you can tell it influenced that and many more things to come after. Now, this solo is not hard to learn, and I think that you should do it by ear for sure. Of course, you can use the sheet music that I'll have below, and that will help you, but it's really so singable and memorable and again, not hard to play that you should be able to do it by ear. It's only one chorus. You'll notice on this sheet music too that I included that I put in a lot of articulations for the slam version, and there's also some in the Ray version too, but the slam in particular, I really tried to find all the places where these sort of scoops and shorter notes and emphasized notes and so on, because it gives it so much character. If we were to just play these notes really generically and clinically, it just doesn't have the same feeling. Usually we don't put articulations in written jazz music, but this is a really important one, I think, where we really want to pay attention to the way that Slam is playing these things specifically. Also, if you know Slam's playing, you know that he would often sing along or hum along to what he's playing just an octave above and with sort of perfect relative pitch to what he's playing, which is a very, very cool thing. If you don't know the name Major Holly, check this bass player out as well, who, like Slam, played with the bow, sang with what he played, but sang an octave down, meaning he sang in the octave of the bass. They have an album together, Slam and Major Holly do, that is absolutely wonderful, that I totally recommend to you to check out. Additionally, I think it's an interesting sort of take on a very clear example of just choosing melodic statements that don't necessarily reflect the chords that are happening or what we're supposed to play. Yes, most of what Slam Stewart plays fits the chords, but if you really sort of break it down, looking at everything vertically, it doesn't always exactly match up, but it absolutely doesn't matter because the strength of the melody is so profound that it absolutely overrides what we might do analytically. Again, remember that theory is something to explain music. Theory about analyzing a note over a chord, that's to explain what happened, not to create something. And so here we've got a great example of a perfect solo that has to do more with the melodic and musical intention rather than some kind of analytical statement. As you can see, I tried to provide a variety of camera angles so that you can see both my hands. And I wanted to also point out that German bow is not my normal bow. I've been playing French for 25 years or 30 years. But because I had some elbow problems, I thought maybe trying French would help with sort of giving my elbow a rest. And so far it's going okay. But if you see a little bit of an awkward German grip, that's me learning. I'm trying to learn it too. And I found that it was like really a little bit easier to sort of grab some of Slam Stewart's articulations when I was playing German because he played German as well. So something that's sort of the way your hand naturally falls sort of quickly lets you, embody a little bit of the sound that Slam's getting in this solo. I hope that this was enjoyable for you and that you will get something from it. Be sure to look for those links below. Thanks for joining me today, and always remember, straight ahead and strive for tone.